we're going to tell you the best hotels in Walt Disney World to take your family with kids. Come along with us. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Carousel of Douglas. Today's sit and chat is going to be a very interesting one. I consider myself to be a rather big kid, so I'm an expert in this kind of a situation. However, I actually just recently got asked this question by a couple people looking to plan their vacations. I was actually asked, hey, where's a good place to take your family if you have kids? What's the best resort hotel on property to do so? And I really had to think about it because there's some great places. Disney's theming is always very good, but I think I came up with my best choices at each level. Now, I'll tell you my criteria. The location is important. The amenities that they have that are especially good for kids, and the pool, how many pools they have, how big the pool is key. And then on top of that, transportation. How easily does the transportation go? And does it have any kid-friendly extras that you might be interested in? All right, so those are the criteria, and I asked around to a bunch of my friends who have kids and asked them what really they were looking for their family, and I also what I would want for my family. So here we go. So in our most inexpensive category, I'm going to actually start with a little bit of an honorable mention. And that honorable mention is any of the all-star resorts. Now, that's a big kind of a cop-out, which is why it's an honorable mention. The three of them are good, but they're not great. They're usually crowded. They usually have, the bus transportation is usually just packed. And that's why I kicked them off the list. But the all-star resorts, for their value, especially if you're trying to take a large family to Disney World, can't be beat. So I recommend the All-Stars if you're trying to save money, but they're not exactly my favorite for families. Okay, at the value level, I would like to recommend the Art of Animation. The Art of Animation is a relatively new hotel. They built that one, and then they added in the Pop Century right next door. They were supposed to be an add-on to Art of Animation. It was supposed to be another form of the Art of Animation, but then they just made it a new resort altogether and called it Pop Century. But I'm going to go with Art of Animation over Pop Century for a couple reasons. One, it's got a really good location. There is one con for transportation, and that is that the Magic Kingdom is at the opposite side of the property from Art of Animation. And that trip is going to take you a while. That's pretty much the only one that's a problem, but it is kind of at the total opposite side from Magic Kingdom. But yeah, that's the only real con about it. It is a hike to the Magic Kingdom. But pretty much everything else is pretty decent. It's in a relatively good location because you're right near Hollywood Studios, you're right near Epcot, you're very close to Typhoon Lagoon, so you can get to some of those really important locations really easily from Art of Animation. Two, speaking of transportation, it's got the Skyliner access. No other value resorts besides Pop Century have a Skyliner access or extra access whatsoever. All value resorts are bus, and that's it, except for Art of Animation and Pop Century. So the access to the Skyliner pluses it up, and your kids are going to love that ride. It's so much fun. Now, the pool. Big Blue Pool is exactly what it sounds like. It's huge, it's big, and it's blue.
Wow, the Big Blue. What's it like?
Big and blue?
I knew it.
Now, all you have to understand with that is the pool itself is very central in the hotel, and a lot of people use it. It's a lot of fun. They have a lot of activities for kids, trivia and games and all kinds of other stuff. So the Art of Animation Hotel is probably my best choice because also at that hotel, they have family suites. They are larger rooms. You have a lock-off room for the parents. You have an easy access bed for all the kids to sleep in. It's a great way to go. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than the value resorts. That's why I mentioned the honorable mention for the All-Stars. They're going to save you the most money. Art of Animation is a little bit more expensive. It's almost at moderate prices, maybe just a little bit below, sometimes more than a moderate hotel because of those family suites. But I think that's what pushes it over the edge. So Art of Animation, really great choice, and I really think that your family would enjoy it. Okay, moving on to the moderate category. This was a no-brainer. I didn't even have to think about this. The answer is Port Orleans Riverside. It's that simple. Port Orleans Riverside, is the best moderate resort for kids and families. Because, first off, Old Man Island Pool. One of the best pools on property is at a moderate resort. It's huge. It's got a lot to do. It's even got fishing right off of the Old Man Island. You can actually fish right near that pool. So that's an awesome thing you can do with your family. And Old Man Island is just so easy to get to. Now, food. It has the Sasagula Floatworks Company. Huge food court. Tons of selection. You will find something to feed your kids. And if you really want to, you can go to Boat Rights. It's a sit-down place, and it's really not as bad as some of the reviews say. It's standard American food. Nothing really gonna jump out at you and go, oh my God, it's the best thing I ever had. But it's a good sit-down restaurant. You can easily get there. And right next door is the River Roost Lounge, and you can watch Yeehaw Bob. Yeehaw Bob is so much fun, and your kids will like him too. So go ahead, go to the Riverside Resort. You will not be disappointed. I do also like the fact that it has boat access to Disney Springs, which is really cool. It's got carriage rides with horseback that you can reserve, and it is an extra cost. They also do have the Surrey bikes. That's an extra cost, but you can ride them around there too. So you've got all that stuff. And then it's got the princess rooms. So if you have someone who wants to have a special theme room, you can stay in a princess room. I've stayed in a princess room. They're awesome. So let me tell you, Riverside, as a moderate resort, especially for the price you're going to pay for it, is probably actually one of your best values to amenities on property, besides the fact that your kids are going to have a good time, you're going to enjoy the hotel that you're staying at, and you're going to have a beautiful resort that you're staying on. It's huge. So, Port Orleans Riverside, best moderate resort for kids. Okay, our final category. This one was actually tough. For the deluxe resorts, we decided to go with Polynesian Village. We really actually had to discuss this. Michelle and I were sitting at the table going, I don't know, there's great things here, great things there. We finally decided on Polynesian Village, and the main thing that tipped us over is the location. Polynesian Village is a monorail ride to the Magic Kingdom. It is a short walk and a monorail ride to Epcot if you go from the TTC, and it is really easy and quick to get to Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom and the water parks, because it's right off of the main road there, because it was one of the originals, so all roads lead that way. The Polynesian Village for location is what pushed it over the top. Now, there's all kinds of other things about it. First off, it's got an amazing pool with a water slide and a giant hot tub, and there's white sand beaches that you can go and play on, and on top of that, there's a playground, and it's a beautiful property. It's got a great shop in the boutique, so if you really want to find some great stuff for your kid. But if you go upstairs to Moana Mercantile, it's got a kid-centric store. That's pretty awesome. So now you can find them something in the kid section of the resort. You also have amazing views of the Magic Kingdom fireworks at night. So if you've gotten too tired or the kids are cranky, you can still see the fireworks. They pump the music in so you can enjoy it. And with Happily Ever After back, that's pretty choice. The other thing I like about it is that it's got Ohana. Ohana is one of the best restaurants on property, in my opinion. And for breakfast, you have a character breakfast where you can meet Lilo, Stitch, and Mickey. That's awesome. Those characters are super, super popular, and you can have a great breakfast right at your property. The Polynesian really is a win-win situation, especially when you look at its location on property. It just can't be beat. Oh yeah, and you can get Dole Whips there. Now it's got extra points. So the Polynesian Village, fantastic. The rooms are really great. I recommend checking out our room tour of the Deluxe DVC studio that we have on the channel. We also did a tour of those bungalows. You should check those out too. I mean, if you can afford the bungalows, go for it. But you want to be able to fit a family and have a great time. They even have a plunge pool. I mean, wow. Anyway, I digress. I highly recommend you check them out. There are also room tours available for the Port Orleans Riverside Alligator Bayou. I did a great room tour there. You can check that out. So all these hotels I talked about today, Art of Animation, Port Orleans Riverside, Disney's Polynesian Village, they're all fantastic places to take your kids. Now, we know you're going to be going to the parks a lot, but a lot of times families with kids like to bring their kids back to the hotel during the hottest part of the day to kind of relax and chill out. And these hotels are also great if you want to just do a resort day, especially when you have your kids with you. So there you go. That's our list of the best resorts to take your kids. We hope you've helped you out. Hey, if you have a different resort you'd like to suggest, go ahead and put it down in the comments down below. We'd really appreciate it. We'd also love it if you'd hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed so you can get more videos just like this. And I promise, if you put out that bell icon will let you know when we put out new videos to help you have a better Disney vacation. We're so glad that you joined us today. Thanks again for coming. And like we always say, we don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon. So we say, see you bye.